Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Where are we today? We're in one of the most beautiful parts of South Devon. Today we're in Dartmouth. Yay! We love Dartmouth. In fact, to be more strictly precise, we're actually right here in Kingswear, and we're going to get the boat across to Dartmouth. Oh, and guess what? There's a steam train coming. Woo! And here she comes, arriving in Kingswear station. This is the terminus of the Dartmouth Steam Railway. Look at that, just beautiful, isn't it? We'll go and have a closer look at her in a second. And in fact, just before we leave this spot right here on the far side of the river, you can see the Britannia Royal Naval College.
That's of course where Princess Elizabeth first met Prince Philip, the dashing young man.
It was.
She married.
Back in the day, a very famous college used for training Royal Naval officers, of course. Probably the best one in Britain, I would say, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And here comes the engine running back round the train to attach to the front to take it back up to Paynton. Some wonderful boats here as well. This is Darthaven Marina, where they maintain a lot of very expensive yachts. Anyway, here she comes, number 5239. Woo! Here we go. What a simply beautiful bit of kit. You just can't beat a steam locomotive, can you? Anyway, let's head down to the riverside, and we're going to take a ferry across to Dartmouth now. Now that's the ferry we'll be coming back on a little bit later, which is quite unique. But first of all, we're off on this one. Only takes a few minutes, but it's a lovely little journey across the River Dart. And we're off.
Approximate 1 hour harbour cruises. Your time today should already be allocated on your ticket, and the vessel you are looking for, she is called the Dart Explorer, a rather large catamaran, and she won this afternoon. Now again folks, your times today should already be allocated on your ticket, and the vessel you are looking for, she is called the Cardiff Castle. And once again, she will be leaving from the same point.
And so here we are in Dartmouth.
Here's the famous Seahorse restaurant, which is actually owned by Mitch Tonks. Mitch Tonks down here owns a chain of restaurants called Rockfish, and he lives in Brixham, so he's a local boy. And this one is a really high end. It was featured in the Fred Syria television programme fairly recently.
Yeah.
Where they were down here.
I remember that. It was very good, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Lovely restaurant.
It is. And on the right hand side is another very famous restaurant that's also appeared on TV in recent times.
Yes, that's the Angel, and that was John Burton Race. Another fabulous place to eat, actually. You've got two high-end restaurants there, side by side.
Yeah, definitely. Beautiful little Tudor building as well. And here is one of Dartmouth's most famous buildings. It's actually a railway station that never had a railway. Why was that? Well, when Brunel was building his Great Western Railway down the southwest coast, he really wanted the railway to run down here into Dartmouth, and in fact built the railway station ready. In the end, it ran to the station we just saw the steam train at on the other side of the river over in Kingswear. Despite that, this continued to operate as a railway station. You could buy tickets there, you could have your luggage handled there, and then you just pop on the boat and go and get the train on the other side. The building's still here, you can still see where the platform was meant to be, and nowadays it's a restaurant, a very nice place to have a drink on a sunny day like this. And this is the inner harbour. The building covered in scaffolding is the Royal Castle Hotel, which is a very nice place to go for a meal. That's one of Dartmouth's oldest hotels. And actually that was the original quay. Originally the River Dart came right up to this point, and everything beyond the inner harbour here, so you've got where the road is and where the boat came in and the old railway station, that's all reclaimed land, and the whole of the flat land along the waterfront in Dartmouth, which is where we're going in a few minutes' time, all reclaimed land. Very clever. Look at the beautiful tulips here in the park, aren't they just gorgeous? Look at that, beautiful spring colours. And Nina wants to tell us about this little white building in front of us here.
Yeah, this is celebrating actually Thomas Newcomen, who was born here in 1663. He was really very important at the start of the Industrial Revolution. He built a pump that pumped out the water from the mines and changed the whole sort of landscape in front of him. And that's built, it's got a replica pump in there, but I think it's actually closed at the moment.
Yeah, it is closed, but you can see through the window just a little there. The engine that changed the world. So here's the local arts centre and theatre. This is called the Flavel.
Yeah, they've got lots and lots of stuff on here. The patron here is actually John Suchet from BBC.
Yep.
And prior to him it was David Dimbleby, who at the time was living up at Ditcham.
Just upriver.
Spelt Dittisham.
Yeah. Ditcham was home to one or two famous people, including Rick Mayall, the comedian who was in The Young Ones, and also I think JK from Jamiroquai lived there as well, and the Dimbleby family.
We saw JK, didn't we, on a boat when we were sailing up the Dart?
We did.
Yeah.
Excuse the sound of the scaffolders, they're just doing the job. So we're going to go forward and we're going to have a look at the artist street of Dartmouth now. Yeah, so this is Foss Street, very famous for its galleries, and here's probably the most famous one, Simon Drew's gallery. He's a very famous cartoonist and illustrator, does a lot of stuff for national newspapers, doesn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember which one. I think it might be The Observer, but I'm sure someone can pop it in the comments below.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the highbrow papers, and he's actually in there drawing as we speak.
Very satirical sense of humour,
it is,
very,
isn't it?
very clever.
Very much. I'll show you a couple of them in a second.
Hello. Happy looking.
Thank you indeed, Simon. Yes.
Such a pretty little street this, isn't it? Really good bookshop there. More galleries. And the church at the end. So this is St Saviour's Church in Dartmouth town centre. And in the old days, you know, I was talking about how most of the land on the quayside is reclaimed. Apparently the River Dart used to come right up to the northern wall of this church, which is about right here, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a long way in, isn't it? We're a good couple of streets, really.
Yeah,
in.
definitely. And a very modern entrance to the church here, although the old doors here, the original doors, the ironwork there, apparently is from the 14th century. And this is what they call the Butter Walk in Dartmouth. Started around 1635, some beautiful old buildings. We've been in the tea shop up there, which is very quirky when you're inside it because all the walls lean in all the wrong direction. But it's very, very pretty. And why is it called the Butter Walk, Nina?
This is where they used to sell all the dairy produce for the area originally. And it was undercover, so it was cool.
Yeah, this is the place. Lovely in there. Yeah, very highly recommended for a very nice cream tea.
In the mid-1100s, Bordeaux used to export wine to Dartmouth. It was their major sort of import and industry. And in exchange, we took wool out to France. Very good wine shop, you see now.
And many different types of gin as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cornish 80-day gin.
Yeah, lots of different ferries you can take and different routes and that sort of thing. And of course, just up the river here, you can go to Agatha Christie's house, which is a very nice place to go and see. And you can go by boat from here, which is an even better way to arrive. And in fact, here's the Greenway ferry just coming back in now. Better than driving there through the lanes and struggling to park and all that, although I do believe you have to actually bookie parking slot there nowadays. Kingswear across the other side, and a couple of military boats just parked here, which are obviously associated with the Britannia Naval College. So we're going to head this way along the waterfront and go and have a look and see what we can find. Mitch Tonk's famous rockfish seafood restaurant. Some people call it a posh chippy, but it's actually a very nice seafood restaurant as well. And there's quite a few of those around South and East Devon now as well. And if you like your crabbing, this is the best place in the world to be. And right over there in the distance on the headland, you can see just the outline of Dartmouth Castle. We're going to be heading off there in a wee while, and whether it's part of this video or I might even do it as a separate one, I'm not quite sure yet.
Opposite to Dartmouth Castle on the other side is Kingswear Castle, and during the Second World War they spread chains across the entry between the two to prevent military boats and submarines entering the harbour.
Good idea. Kept them out, didn't it? There to keep the French out back in the day. And here's a very interesting house. This was the home of John Davis. 1550 to 1605, he was an explorer and sailor, and he invented the Davis quadrants and backstaff, which were used in shipping after that. He sighted the Falkland Islands in 1592, and also he discovered the Davis Strait, which is up between Canada and Baffin Island as well, and this is where he lived. And this is the Dartmouth Lower Ferry. There's also a Dartmouth Higher Ferry, which runs a little bit upstream, which can carry 36 cars, and is guided by a cable, an underwater cable. This is the Lower Ferry, which is quite unique. Just watch how it goes. It's hauled by a tug. You can see it's called Hawley 5. There's another one on the other side, which it will pass halfway across the river, which will come back in. And it's just attached by ropes. This holds up to 8 cars. And he'll haul the barge out and then turn the tug and carry on across the river. Quite unique. You watch him go. Just on the right hand side is the wonderful Bayard's Cove. We're just heading down there in a second. So you watch him turn now. There he goes. See how he turns it? Just through working the tug and the ropes. And then basically he'll run alongside the barge across to the other side. And we're going to be going on that as we return to Kingswear a little bit later on in this video. The historic quayside of Bayard's Cove. We're going to head down there in a second, tell you a little bit more about it. It's lovely there. And here comes the other ferry. So he's basically just going to ground the ramp up onto the slipway here. It's amazing, he gets it right every time. And there you are, as simple as that. And all done just by the tug. There he is. Right, let's go to Bayard's Cove. And here we are, Bayard's Cove. Historic quayside. It's been used in a lot of film sets, including famously the Enedin line back in the day, but many other films, when they needed an old quayside, a historic quayside, have used this location as well.
No overhead cables.
Yeah, exactly. Although I can see
I can see an aerial.
a TV aerial. I bet they have to clone it out or take it off. So much maritime history here in Dartmouth. For example, the Crusades sailed from here in 1147 and again in 1190. Also Dartmouth ships took part in the attack on the Spanish Armada in the 1500s from here. The Pilgrim Fathers put into Dartmouth en route from Southampton to America on their ships the Mayflower and the Speedwell. That was in 1620. And Dartmouth Quay was also one of the departure points for the D-Day landings going to Utah Beach in 1944. And at the end of Bayard's Cove, the quayside, we have Bayard's Cove Fort, 16th century, which used to contain heavy guns to protect the town from enemy ships. Let's have a look through here. That's the ferry in the distance you can hear. So you can imagine all these at one time would have contained guns. Certainly a very good position to defend Dartmouth from. Yeah, would have been difficult for enemy to get in here, wouldn't it? Look at this for a beautiful entrance, isn't that just gorgeous? So here we are. Now I've just spent the last 2 hours walking to Dartmouth Castle and back, which you can see in the next video on this channel. So don't miss that when it comes up. Scenery absolutely stunning. In the meantime, still back here in Dartmouth Town Centre. Some very nice shops and galleries as well. Now this looks intriguing, doesn't it? Should we go and have a look? There's scaffolding up there, but I think we can get past it. And here it is. Wow, look at this place. This is the Cherub. That's what you call a proper pub, isn't it? Here's another one of Dartmouth's famous eating and drinking establishments, al fresco. Come here in the summer at the weekend and the place is buzzing. Right, time to make our way back across to the other side on the lower ferry now. Off we go. Simple as that. Easy, you see. Rather a nice little boat just passing us by there. Here's the other one. Oh, hello there. There's a police car on the other ferry.
No, we're not in a hurry.
Look at that, fantastic, isn't it? And before you know it, here we are. There they are, ready to go across again. What a great way to travel, isn't it? And here we are in Kingswear. There's the post office. And the coast path continues up to the left-hand side. And straight in front of us, look at this beautiful house. This is Kingswear Priory. Look at that, isn't that just lovely? It's only 10 miles to Brixham. Yeah, no problem at all there. We'll be there and back by tea. Right, and here we are back at Kingswear railway station. And here she comes again. Off she goes again, eh?
Wow. Busy train today, that.
So there you go. We've come to the end of another video. Hope you enjoyed that. That was Dartmouth and Kingswear, of course, as the train disappears back up the line to Paynton. And of course, don't forget the next video on this channel will be a walk from Dartmouth to the beautiful Dartmouth Castle. That's coming up in a couple of days' time. Or maybe if you're watching this video at a later date, it's already there. Have a look anyway. So confusing, isn't it? Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll join us again on the next one very soon. Please subscribe, please, please, please. Thank you very much.
And like.
Give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up. Or leave us a rude comment like one person did recently. I don't care. We can take it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye. Bye. Thanks for watching.